So I'm very passionate about journalism. I wanted to be in the media space, telling stories, and my goal was to be in the mainstream media. So I went to the university to study Bachelor of Arts in Swahili and Communication. I wanted to really be in spaces where I could tell stories about the community and what really was happening around us. But with time, after my conclusion of, rather after I was done with my studies, I was in the hunt, to look for job opportunities, which really took a toll on me because even the spaces that I went to, I was not able to be chosen, rather given an opportunity. Maybe because that time it was flooded or the opportunities were limited to experiences. My name is Emmanuel Baraka. I'm the founder of Tuza Arts and Soko, and I also serve as the managing director of Nob Digital. I did this for quite some time, I think 2 years. And I was wondering what else can I do, because then I had so many things to do, bills to pay. Remember, when you're done with campus, you cannot get support from family, and coming from a very humble background, I didn't really have so much support, and I needed to do something about it. So with time, I developed interest in my passion still. I would work with local online TVs, work with local media outlets to just see whether I could continue pursuing my career, rather helping my passion grow. But this also didn't go well because those challenges that comes with starting with startups, working with startups, they also have some issues that really you have to deal with, including no payment sometimes, and you have bills to pay. I asked myself, what can I do about it? So that is how Nob came. This one fine morning, when I had looked for jobs so many times, applied, went to those places, actually went for some interviews. Until this time now, it was so difficult. A friend of mine actually, I remember this fine morning when we were around and we were asking ourselves then, what really can we do about the situation? Then an idea came to me, because while I was working in the university, I had gotten some opportunities, including doing voiceovers for small organizations, doing advertisement. For example, I was able to do like an advertisement for graduation at Pone University. This is something that I just single-handedly worked with a few members in the community at that particular time, and we did an advertisement for them. Then I used this imagination to take a step. I asked myself that maybe I could work with other local businesses to just help advertise their businesses and all that. And this is during COVID, because you can imagine COVID-19 came at some point and we didn't have, businesses were closing and they had no alternative. While others already knew what was important, going to social media, others did not know completely. So I was asking myself, maybe I could come up with a bridge that can help enhance businesses from one, customers, to them, who are the producers or maybe the owners. Then that is how Nob Digital came, because the project was supposed to help businesses. It was supposed to be like a bridge, support them in digital marketing activities, marketing specifically. And I just reached out to a few. Actually, I remember the first week we walked in Kilifi and we reached out to 260 something businesses. And while doing that, we did not get actually a business who was willing to work with us. It took up to another 2 months or more, if I'm not wrong, for us to go back to one of the ones we had reached out to initially, who once told me, actually it was not even a pay. They saw me that afternoon, and I remember this guy asked me, you should be charging consultation fee. That's one thing he said. And I also didn't know how to do that, because I had all these ideas I was sharing with them, and I didn't know how that was also impacting them. Other businesses, you'd share with them ideas, and then they go implement on their own. But this guy told me you should be charging consultation fee. And then later on, he decided to pay me 500 shillings. And that was actually the first salary that I ever received at Nob Digital, 500 bob. And it really motivated me. And I think this man also saw me, because I think he probably saw the kind of energy that we were selling that time. At some point, psychologically, I even thought he felt we were very hungry and probably we needed to eat something. But I really to this day thank him, because from that day we got an energy to go forward, to just look for other businesses. And then now that is how it came to other organizations, rather people we met, especially in the university, who gave us opportunities. For example, we went to weddings, would do a few things for them, like brochures, be there with them, support them, do some voiceovers. At some point, we were not even asking for money. We were actually supporting ourselves. And believe me when I tell you, it was about food sometimes. Because we were like, okay, so if we get to this wedding, we are going to get food. We're also going to be facilitated from this place to this point. And if a client is very happy, they can actually give us something more, perhaps money or, but we were not very rigid on that. Because I also noted one thing. I was not really a business person. Like, that was not my mind at that particular time. All I knew is that I was going to leave the university and then I go to an employment as a reporter, an editor, or maybe a news anchor, which again, news anchor to me was again a very tall approach, but I looked forward to it anyway. So that did not happen. So with time, we started looking for clients and we got this passion for doing more and more until it became heavy, because at some point we got people paying us again, but now we learned that it was not about the money. Some of the real lesson that I got to learn after getting clients was it was about satisfaction. Clients, you can get the money. Someone, you do quote, yes, they would give you money, but then after that, if the client is not very happy, then you have a problem, because they are going to consider you very unprofessional. You don't have something that they need from you, and your business is going to be in jeopardy, for lack of a better word. So that is how we do it. And then with time, an idea came to me, because I was doing this because it was so about money and growth, Nob Digital. And now when I was looking at it deeply, I would love to work so much with the community. And then I asked myself, what more can I do? Because Nob Digital was limiting me to customers, companies, and all that. And now Choose Awards, that is a project that now came. Initially we called it Mekatili Awards, because we wanted to be local, we wanted to support the cultural heritage of our county at that particular time, Kilifi. And then with time we opened it more so that it becomes so dynamic. So that is the name Tuza, that is where it came from. Tuza is just a Swahili word that means gift. And Tuza is a purely charity project. It supports the community in many ways that it can. I love it because it really opens up so many versions of me, because I realize that I am such a philanthropist and I like to give impact, like just do something good for the community. And Tuza reminded me as well of the days that I had these struggles. I was asking myself, if that was me, I had to go through, I don't know whether that time I would know it was depression, but I think I had that experience for a very long time. Because with publicity, you know what publicity brings? People know me. In the university, people know me, including the Vice Chancellor, so many people within the university, because I started a project rather, because I found things, like me najua tu kuanzisha vitu, I just like to come up with ideas. So even the university press that exists right now, it's called Pwani University Student Media. I founded it in the University Pwani, and that is what I used to grow my talent. And with that, people definitely will know you, because we do events, public events like debates, we do reporting and all that. And that came with a lot of cost, because when people see you, they're so sure you're doing well. When you're so on the public eye so much, they are so sure you cannot miss opportunities. So imagine you'd want to be in a space where you need even help, but people will say, you have it, you got it covered. You understand? Because they think I had it. At some point, even asking for money, someone will tell you. So in Swahili, they would say, Emmanuel, sasa utakosaje hamsini, because they were so sure I had it. Then there are situations where people would come to me to help them look for like attachments. They would come to me to help them look for job opportunities. But that time, I have no job. I'm struggling to pay my rent. I'm also struggling to pay even daily bread is becoming a problem. So you can imagine how that was intense. So even walking around the university, even post my graduation, was becoming a problem, because you'd wonder, how would you do that? People expect. In my class, a few people were so confident. They were telling me, Manuel, you cannot miss opportunities. You cannot miss a few things to do here. And for me, some of them went ahead, and I think they got to spaces. They went ahead. Some of them went to the US. Some people went to do businesses. And I was still there. I have no opportunity. So Tuza reminded me really that the days that people are probably out there struggling to make opportunities. So how does it come in line, especially with businesses, starting projects, doing something impactful, not just for yourself, but for the community. So when we offer spaces like trade fairs, we give them a chance where you can come with us, your new ideas, you can come with your new products. You don't have to have multi-million products. You just come and showcase so that you can meet new people. You can talk about your product and people know about it, give you a chance to get to another stage, network and a few more. Because I needed someone at that particular time. I didn't have it. So I thought to myself, what if through Tuza, Awards and Soko, I can offer that opportunity to people to just feel like they're not alone. Someone is watching what they're doing, and what they're doing is really impactful, not just for themselves, but for the community. So I told myself that I will continue upholding this project, because with that, I am sure that people will be interested in just becoming better, or rather being passionate more about their project. And I've seen very good feedback so far. We've seen people who have gone to spaces just because of our trade fair. We've seen people who have started good businesses because they have come to our trade fair. We have seen people who have gotten support because we identified them and we gave them our award. And to be honest, our award has been supported purely by me and Nob Digital, and of course partners who come on board. And you look at this when sometimes you have to take all your earnings or profit to support the project. It's because you love it. You love it so much that you don't want to miss any benefits that comes with it. So that is how Tuza has been. And the first event was not easy to pull. The second as well. The third motivated me because I was telling myself, so if you've done it 2 times, we can do it again, And now we're here in our 4th edition, which is happening this year. And we cannot wait because success has come and we cannot stop. People are now asking, when is the next event? And that is how we do it. And every year, we have decided that we're not just going to be doing events. We're going to be bringing relevance. So each year we come with discussions. We bring a theme that really supports the community. For example, last year it was about elevating sustainable entrepreneurship through eco-friendly innovation. That is in 2025. But then in 2026, we are supporting what we call restoring our shared future, which is basically talking to us about returning what has not, or rather what has already been forgotten. And we have discussions around sustainability, sustainable living, reviving our heritage. I learned that we were hiding under shells as young people specifically. We do not want to identify with our ethnicity. Some people don't even want to speak their language. They don't want to be proud of their original language. They're wondering, why is it good to speak? But they're happy to speak foreign languages, People want to learn French, they want to learn German, they want to learn a few things about the white people. But then when you ask them deeply, how about you? Can you speak your own language? As low as Kiswahili, they do not want to identify with it. So that is why we want to have this conversation on reviving our heritage. And then something else is about Vijana na AI. Vijana na AI is a new one because we wanted to really remind young people about what artificial intelligence was supposed to do. It was supposed to bring impact, add value to what you already have, but not take it away from us. So we want to have this conversation where we remind young people that it is very important we work together to make sure that we use artificial intelligence the right way. Not to deal with our own intelligence, but to advance it. Some people use it, indeed, but then not to the right way, because now you realize they cannot think on their own. I have a story of someone who once told me that they had this a mice come to their house, but then before they went ahead to take it off, they asked ChatGPT, what should I do about these mice? So you can imagine those minutes spent on just trying to Google something or ask ChatGPT about a situation that you probably could handle, you probably waste so much time thinking rather ChatGPT will give you a solution. Then you have to read, then come back. So what is happening to our common sense? What is happening to our own intelligence? What is happening to our own thinking, So that is one thing that I want to have the conversation about. We are not disregarding ChatGPT. We're only saying it's very important for us to have this conversation and a few more. And then lastly, it was about healing communities, which is becoming now the most needed conversation. Many people are currently looking for spaces where they can really talk about issues that really affects them. And healing communities is a thing that really touches on especially young people. People having mental health issues, but they don't talk about it because there are so many traumas they're keeping on themselves. Some people were built like that. Other people don't know they exist. Other people are just like ignoring it. So we want to be in spaces where we remind you that it's okay to have these talks about healing, You need to deal with these things as they are. Probably in terms of just knowing that there is an issue and you need to tackle it. No wonder we're having challenges with young people at work. We're having challenges that people in families, in friendships, in relationships, call it even marriages today, because they cannot really deal with their own issues. They're hiding under some shell. So Tuza Awards and Soko is really opening those doors for such kind of conversations, and that's why we love it. We love it because we need it today and tomorrow. So Tuza Awards is here to acknowledge and recognize and be like a platform where people can have sensitization about issues that are needed, that needs discussion in the community. For example, right now that we've talked about restoring our shared future, it's unspoken, and we feel like through Tuza Awards we can be like a vessel. So we're like a platform where you can come and we can share together. We are not the experts. We work with people who already are in those fields. So we bring them together. Could you partner with us and now join hands in having conversations like this? Because with that, we are sure we will impact the community, and we want to create a community that retains and holds outstanding people. So Job Digital is a company that was created to create accessibility for businesses, all right? So our services revolves around production, visibility, and consumption. So we do social media management, website design, and creatives. Let me start again. Job Digital is a company that is created for accessibility for businesses, all right? So we help businesses identify the potential in the digital platforms. We do it through production, visibility, and consumption. We do social media management, graphics and creatives, website design and development. We do consultation, and we also do branding for businesses. So when you want to start your business and you need support with branding, what do you want to do about your logo, your colors, everything about that, we are supporting you in that. The greatest impact that Tuza Awards and Soko has so far done or made is bringing young people together in safe spaces and also recognizing their potential. What we have really noted is that young people needed spaces like this that Tuza is offering today, where they can easily communicate about the issues that are affecting them, especially when it comes to mental health, where they can share their ideas when it comes to businesses, where they can meet like-minded individuals who are starting up especially, and also where they can be in motion, They want to be in spaces where people are actually doing something impactful to the community, and especially in the coastal region where there's so much that is currently going on, including matters of drug abuse and all that. We have not gone so much to deep support that in matters of drug, but we have also opened doors, where people can just easily come within, where young people themselves are involved, because I feel like the chain has been about power, those who are on top telling the young people what to do. What if we ourselves tell each other what to do? So that's why it's attractive what we're doing at Tuza, because it then brings young people together where they can easily think, where they can easily come up with ideas that really supports them. So one of the greatest impact that so far we have made in Tuza is recognition, acknowledgement, and supporting projects, and creating networks for them, because When we bring people together, we bring people with different specialities who have very many goals that they're currently handling in the community. So through that, they get to network and they get to meet people who can support their project in form of grants, resource-wise, and anything really that comes with that. So far, we have supported ourselves majorly, but I would say really that we have also gotten support from other partners and stakeholders who really came on board in our previous event in ways they could, especially sponsorships that have come in kind. They bring items that we need for that event to happen. And we have not really gone to the level of approaching the national government, but we have been working closely with the county governments of Kilifi and now Mombasa. So we're looking to grow our scope of partnerships and sponsorship this year, because we need it indeed. When we grow, we need to support so many people. We need to identify so many businesses that are currently needs to be activated, and that is why we need to expand our scope, and we're opening doors for partnership and sponsorship. Anyone willing. It doesn't have to be a company, it can be an individual, it could be an organization, and this sponsorship they don't have to come in finances. They could come in kind, because we need a lot to execute an event. And this year we are not just doing the main event. If you've noticed, maybe in our platforms you'll see we're doing really activations around so many issues which happens frequently. So we do events we do like pre-events before the main events, and these events are really supported by us young people who come together. So that can be overwhelming sometimes. People don't want to show up because they feel like they cannot get the support, and the strains of traveling to spaces where we need to be, and a few more issues. So we really need support, and if that support comes anytime, we will really appreciate, because we will make a lot of impact compared to what we already have so far. In fact, that reminds me of some of the challenges that we're facing. It's majorly resource. Yeah, I don't think there's really a main challenge we're facing, especially when it comes to executing these events. Resources are very limited. We really support ourselves with what we have. I like to mention here that I have a pool of friends who are really committed to this cause. I don't really give them payment. I don't do anything with them, but they support me intentionally because they know the importance of this event, and what they do really have made this event move from one stage to another. It can be in form of just bringing themselves to this event, speaking a word about it, inviting people through them, all that has really supported us. And maybe I would say something else we face as a challenge is just making it make sense. Some people don't still understand what we're doing. So that information, dissemination of information from where we're sitting to the community, they still don't understand why we exist. And that is what we are trying to put a lot of energy this year too. We tell them really why Tuza Awards and Soko is important. So those are the two main challenges that we are facing in the community right now.